Have at it.
Okay. 6 months ago, before I met them,
Speak up.
I was in church with at True Vine Ministries, a church that that's how I met them. And when they started doing the classes that I know about anyway. And let's see, let me see if I can grasp my pre-Ganesha school. I was very insecure, could not look anyone in the eye, which I'm looking you in the eye right now.
Yeah.
But I was about 377 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I was in college studying to be a nurse, but I was absolutely miserable. Even in college, I'm really good. I'm a very studious person, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And so I tried to, like most people, I tried in religion, looking for some type of hope, some type of what's going to happen next. And it wasn't exactly clicking, even though I had been in the church for close to 9 years.
Wow.
And so there was a lot that was going wrong. And then I remember one time, it was just like, I was just praying, I was like, I just kind of put it out there as a thought, like, I need help. I can't do this by myself. Some people, they can find themselves very easily either in God or through a teacher or something. I can't. I need to know now because I can't keep going on through life. I understand that a lot of people are like, well, you're young, you're supposed to feel this way. You're supposed to be miserable for a time until you find a job, but that just didn't compute for me. I couldn't handle it. I was already halfway dead being that big.
Yeah.
So then Tyrone and Marcella came to our church and they started offering these classes, and at first it seemed focused on just nutrition, just about the way you eat and how it affects your body. So the first thing that he taught us, though, wasn't even about food. It was to meditate and to drink water. Drink 1 liter of water every day. Wake up and then fill your hands. And it wasn't about how long you could fill your hands, but the consistency in filling your hands. And I started noticing things about myself. It was like a way to quiet my mind, especially when you're insecure and you're dealing with depression. Your mind, it goes. Any mental illness just is continuously doing that. And it's like being able to stop it. It made me open my eyes. And I always laugh, in this part because I realized I had a food addiction. For most people, they're like, oh, well, you're fat, so you probably have a food addiction. But it was an epiphany. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's because one moment, I didn't realize my mentality before, but through stopping and stuff, I realized that when someone would hand me food, I would start thinking about problems, even if problems didn't exist. I would think, well, what if something bad happened, and then how to solve that problem? And I would never even know what I was eating. It was just eating like someone who smokes cigarettes. Chain smokers usually they don't remember taking every puff.
Right.
But they're just doing it anyway. But I've lost 100 pounds, 120 pounds since that started. Yeah, because you stop. You stop the bad habits. You heal from it. And the reason why I can look you in the eyes is because I went on a communication fast recently where I turned off my phone, turned off the TV, and turned off the radio, and just kind of went day from day. And it was just 10 days, but it was life-altering, quite honestly. The most incredible things happened just looking within and finding, the root of insecurity, going back and having to face things that were scary as a child and still are as an adult, But yeah, next day woke up completely different. It's not about, it's a process, but when the change happens, it really happens. In the church, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It happens for a short period of time and then you fall out, because usually people are putting on an act. But when this really happens, it just happens. You just change. You become a better person. And the lack of insecurity, I've always been a child who was on government assistance, and that's just what it is. But now, the other day I kind of laughed because my mind's changing and creating new things. I was at my house. I didn't have any money, and I just got kicked out of my friend's house, and I went with my next door neighbor to the elementary school next door our house, and they're having this little bazaar type thing, something about the holidays and raising money. And I was looking, and I was paying attention to the quality of the goods around me, and I was like, wow, that really sucks. And I was like, I can make money right here. So I went back to my house, and I got the Christmas balls off of our Christmas tree, and got a Sharpie marker and put initials in cursive. I made $100 selling them at the bazaar that quickly, $1 a piece. It was pretty awesome. I was like, wow, my mind is changing.
That's incredible. Wow.
That's the key to entrepreneurship, having an entrepreneurial mind which sees opportunities in everything. That has to be developed.
And then another currently, what's happening now, and what I'm really excited about is I'm starting to see how he calls it the vibration. Wherever your mentality is, you know how you kind of draw people to you in whatever area you're thinking about. I'm starting to realize how I'm affecting other people that I'm around, including my family and those that are close. And just watching them literally kind of like flip the coin after being around me. Like, okay, my half-brother, he came over, and at first he was like, oh, you're in a cult. My family has this really thing about being afraid of things that are different, and meditation is very different from my family.
Yeah.
And so, you're in a cult and it's bad. And I sat there and I talked to him, and he was like, well, what does it have to do with entrepreneurship? And I told him what it has to do with it, the fact that, an entrepreneur makes systems that replicate what's inside of them. If you have an issue, your systems are going to show that. You're going to have failure. You're going to have bankruptcy. And so you have to heal what's wrong first, versus going out there and falling flat on your face and being discouraged and you don't want to do it again. You stop and you take the time to heal. And the next day, my mom, I came down a little later than when my brother, I wish I had got up on time, but she was like, I came down and he was meditating. I was like, oh, what happened to me being in a cult? And then he's not very much of a worker. He's rather lazy, in fact. But he went out to put job applications in, which is something that I'm kind of doing myself. But it's very funny watching people kind of flip the switch. Like, really?
Yeah, right on. That's a very positive effect. I mean, that's about. You would have thought he would ever do that. Quite the opposite, in fact. Isn't that something?
It is. It's absolutely amazing, and it's what my mother, we got into a discussion afterwards because she too doesn't understand meditation, and for a moment was it's a cult. And I was telling her, I was like, it's just different. That's all it is. It achieves the same purpose that any other religion does, except on a greater scale. It's not just concentrating on whether you can talk to God. It's concentrating on whether you know who you are and what you're going to do with your life, where your purpose lies. It's amazing. I love it.
That's fantastic. And I'm sure you're not the only one who's benefited from this.
If you listen to them long enough, they'll start talking to you about people that they just meet, and their life changes.
120 pounds. That's amazing. 6 months especially. You must feel totally different.
It does. And I can see even my mentality about exercising and stuff. It's not work anymore. It's like, because I'm in a place where I'm a little low on transportation, so I have to walk like 30 minutes to the bus stop or something like that. And I'm actually coming home and feeling like I need to go and do more because my body isn't in balance. And so it's like, okay, let me go and do some leg lifts. So I've been doing like 1,000 of those a day, and it's just, I don't know, it's different. It's different. Very different. I feel like a different person, quite literally.
Obviously.
Yeah.
If you couldn't look somebody in the eye, you certainly got over that.
It's true. Alright.
That's very good. Like one of the things that one of the things that's up there. One of the things that we're dealing with is results, and I noticed a long time ago that a lot of people are very unhappy, and like their piecemeal solutions have been offered for so long, saying if you do this, you can get this, but it's not consistent. The results aren't consistent, and so what we began to do, like over 7 years or so, is to go inward and to find out what are the issues that cause problems in people's lives. Why do people react to living the way that they do? And we found that what we found is what a lot of spiritual people